Hey team, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in today's video I want to talk about 3 things I learned from getting abs. Now to give a bit of context around this, when I was younger I was always heavier, I was never that kid that had abs that was shredded. If anything, I always had a little bit of a gut. When I was 13 I got my first gym set. It was this machine, it was a pec deck, lat pull down, and a few other things like, the machine I'm talking about. I started using it every single day, I fell in love with it, I got a barbell, I got a bench press, and then from there I started teaching other people how to become healthier and fitter. Now, even while going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week, playing football a couple of times a week as well, I never had a six-pack. Diet and nutrition was always something I struggled with. Exercise, I loved exercise, I loved lifting heavy weights, but nutrition, staying away from certain foods or reducing certain foods was always something that I struggled with. Now, adding to that is I started a business when I was 20. I opened up my own gym, and from there, very early mornings and late evenings, my own training regime went out the window, my nutrition went out the window as well, stress levels through the roof, obviously sleep was disturbed, and I gained quite a bit of weight. Now, last year I made the decision that I was going to get back in shape. I needed to start focusing on myself, which meant prioritizing my own workouts, prioritizing my nutrition, prioritizing my sleep, and using methods to reduce the amount of stress that I had from running a business and other things in day-to-day life. Now, over the space of months, I lost a reasonable amount of weight, and I got to the point where I was reasonably lean. I wasn't shredded or anything like that, but if someone looked at me, they'd be like, hey, he's in pretty good shape. I then made the decision that I wanted to get the leanest I ever have. Now, previously, I've been lean enough where you can kind of see abs coming through, but I've never been very, very lean. So I undertook a training regime, increasing my non-exercise activity massively, really watching my diet, and getting as lean as I ever had. And I went from this to that. And it was interesting because going along the journey, and especially reflecting after the journey, there's a few massive lessons I've learned, and there's something I really want to share with you. It doesn't matter whether you're someone who wants to get a six-pack, or you're someone who's wanting to lose weight just in general, or someone who's wanting to stack on a little bit of muscle or tone up. Because I think all of these lessons still apply and are important. Now, lesson number 1 is you're always going to have that fat pouch right here. Now, I'm not sure if it's just me, but especially after I've had a really bad couple of days of eating, when I sit down in the car and I grab the seatbelt and pull it over, again, this is probably just psychological, I can feel like the seatbelt's just a little bit tighter there, and you have that little bit of fat roll that might poke around the seatbelt. Now, something that I expected was as I got leaner, that I just wouldn't have that fat patch anymore. And when I was sitting down like I am right now, I would just have abs, there would be no body fat. And even getting as lean as I got, that fat pouch, when I sit down, was always there. It never went away. Now, I know there's going to be some people that comment on this and saying, well, if you just got leaner, it wouldn't be there. And you're 100% correct. If I got very, very, very lean, where I had no body fat on me, that wouldn't be there. But the amount of leanness I got to was something that I was actually reasonably proud about. And it's a level of leanness that probably most people won't get to, which is important because I know many clients that I've worked with, they're always mindful about this little fat patch right here, and they have this idea that if they just keep losing weight, it'll go away and it won't ever be there. And what I want to share with you is one lesson I've learned is unless you get incredibly shredded, much leaner than I was, you're going to forever have that little fat pouch right there sitting down. Everyone has it. The people in the magazines that don't have it, either don't have it because they're just incredibly shredded, or there's this fancy little thing called Photoshop, or they play around with angles where they maybe lean back so it stretches out that little pocket of fat. Now, the second thing I learned from getting abs was no one gives a fuck if you have abs. And it's funny, reflecting on it, I'm not sure what I expected. I didn't get abs to want to show off to other people. It was something that I more just wanted to do myself. I wanted to get back in shape. I wanted to focus on my health and fitness. I've been in the gym for 13 or 14 years. I really wanted to see the result of all of that work. Now, having abs, did it make my life any better? No. If anything, I was having issues with my energy levels. I was getting incredibly anal about my nutrition, and it was starting to impact my social life. Now, does everyone experience these same issues with having abs? No. And this is where the lifestyle component comes in and is really critical to actually maintaining that physique. But as a guy, whether you're in shape or shredded, no one really cares. The only person that cares if you have abs is you. No one looks down on you if you don't have abs. And no one looks up to you and says you're an amazing individual because you have abs. So you need to make sure that if you're trying to lose weight or get in shape, whatever you're doing health and fitness wise, that you're doing it for you. Because if you're doing something for someone else, the journey's gonna fucking suck. And you're gonna realize that they don't give a fuck anyway. Now, I'm not saying that people don't care about you. All I'm saying is little nuances like whether you have abs, whether you weigh 71 kilos or 73 kilos, whether your biceps are 12 inches or 13 inches, whether you can squat 80 kilos or you can only squat 65 kilos. People don't really care. It doesn't change who you are. So make sure you're in your health and fitness goals for the right reasons. Now, the third lesson is a little bit similar to what I was just talking about at the very end with the second lesson I learned about getting abs. And that was that if you think achieving a particular goal or achieving a particular physique is going to make you happy, you're dead wrong. It's funny, when I was getting leaner, as I got to a stage where I was starting to get a bit lean and my abs were coming through. And for the 4 to 6 weeks after that, I wanted to see really how lean I could get. And here's an image right here of a 4-week transformation that I went through when I went from being like quite lean to probably the leanest that I've ever gotten. Now it's funny, looking back on those photos is I can see a difference. But at the time is I couldn't see any difference in the photos. And every time I went to the mirror, knowing that my adherence with my nutrition was spot on, every time I looked in the mirror, is I didn't see any difference at all. Each and every week as I got leaner, like I mentioned with the first lesson, that fat pouch right there didn't look like it was getting any smaller. For my abs to come through, I was still needing to tense. It wasn't like I was just walking around with veins coming out of my biceps and absolutely shredded. When I'd put on a shirt, it would look like I barely go to the gym. It may look like I'm in okay shape, but it wouldn't look like I've been going to the gym for 12 to 13 years. And as I started going through the process, I started finding more things that I wanted to improve on. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to want to keep improving yourself. I think that's awesome. I think in every area of life, just improvement is important, getting better. But if your self-worth is tied to achieving a certain physique, and you have this idea in your mind that when you achieve this physique is you're going to be truly happy, and you won't be happy until you achieve that physique, is you're going to be very, very unhappy, because when you get to that point, like I did, is the goalposts start to change. And those goalposts change to an extent where now you won't be happy until you've achieved that. Your self-worth is linked to achieving that next goal. You start to nitpick the things about your physique or what you've achieved that aren't perfect. And you believe that when you achieve that is you've reached perfection. And if you approach health and fitness with this mindset, is the journey is going to fucking suck. It's going to suck the entire time. Is if you have this idea, you will never be healthy with your health and fitness journey. Instead, what I've learned is setting goals and getting better is important. Like, keep setting goals, keep wanting to get stronger, keep wanting to get fitter. If body composition is something you really care about, yes, keep setting goals, but have your happiness linked to the journey of failing, the journey of making mistakes, the journey of coming up against obstacles, having to pivot and overcoming that obstacle. If you look at individuals in the world who have the best physiques, you look at fitness models, you look at bodybuilders who have achieved amazing things, and for many people is they will look at them and say, that for me is the physique I want to achieve. Is many of them have body issues. Many of them fucking hate how they look. Even though I think that what they've achieved is incredible and their physique is insane, most people could never achieve that. For many of them, their worth is set around the fact of perfecting their imperfections. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with becoming a better version of yourself. But from what I've learned, at least for me, is from my journey of getting abs, is if your self-worth is aligned or you think that you're going to be truly happy when you lose that amount of weight, or when you can bench press or squat that weight, or when you can do that certain thing, I'm sorry to say it really doesn't work that way. And hopefully you found value from this video. I wanted to share my transformation and some lessons I've learned from it, which I think are really important. Because I know with me is reflecting on the very start of my journey, to achieving, for example, the goal of getting abs, is there's so many lessons that I've learned I think are really valuable to many other people, not in regards to getting abs, but many people who are just wanting to lose weight, or they're wanting to tone up, or they're wanting to get stronger, is many of the lessons that I've learned apply 100% to you. I think the shift in perspective can make you have a happier journey. It can make the journey of achieving your goals much more fun. So guys, they are the 3 big lessons I learned from getting abs. Guys, make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to put in the comments what you thought. Have you gone through something similar, and what lessons did you find from your transformation? Look forward to seeing you guys soon.